In today's tutorial, I'll be learning how to make a collar shirt or a shirt collar. So, firstly, you place your clothes together like so and make sure they are equal. Then you shift your hand back a little bit by half inch or whatever sewing allowance you have added. You just shift your hand back as I'm doing it like so that there will be no shortage or excess by the time you are done cutting your collar and you want to fix it to the cloth. Because if you can see what I'm doing now, if I had measured it from the front like this, from the tip, I would have had a shortage, and what is there is 7.5 inches, and you can see that it's not the same. So after getting our 9 inches, I mark my starting point by the side, get a straight line, and I mark my starting point down there as well, which is 1/2 inches. Then I mark a straight line. So I come up by 1.5 inches for my collar. For my first collar, 1.5 inches. Then I connect the lines like so, just that way. Then the next thing is to get the midpoint of my collar, which is 4.5. I'll mark it at the top there and at the down part again to get a straight line, which is 4.5. Then I'm going to connect it like that. Then by the side, I'm going to go up by 1/2 inch from the first line and the second line. 1/2 inch there. Then I connect with my straight ruler first. Then because our neck is not straight, there is a curve there, so I'm going to have to make use of my curved ruler in order for me to get a curve round there. Because sometimes when you use your curved ruler only, you might not know if it is straight, you might not know how to place it. So when you use your first ruler, then you'll be able to get that, okay, there is a curve here, just the way it is here. Then the next thing to do is to mark 1/2 inch inward from that side, from your curved, from the upper part to the down part. You can see just the same way I'm doing like that. Just mark 1/2 inch down there to get your curve like so. Just curve your hand just the way I'm doing it like that. And you can bring your curve outside a little bit. It depends, or if you want, you can bring your curve. You might not even do that 1/2 inch. Just draw your curve like that. I don't know if you understand me, but if there's anything you don't understand, you can please feel free to ask me in the comment section. I'll be willing to respond. So the next thing for us to do is we come up by 1/2 inch right there. That 1/2 inch, this line that I'm about to draw now, is just like a guard. Just like a guard. Then, so I want you to mark the first line that we drew, which is a straight line, the straight ruler that we used. I want you to cancel it so that you will not be confused. So we are going to be leaving just the curved line alone, so as to not to get confused. So the 1/2 inches that I have marked that line, then I'm going to mark another 1/2 inches. That line is just like a guard. We are going to mark, it's going to be connecting to the curve right there. So that we are going to mark another 1/2 inch now. Then I'll measure it there to get a straight line. 1/2 inch there. So you connect it straight like so. Then the next thing to do is to come up by 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. Then I'll mark my 2.5 inches on the other side as well. Okay, sorry, before that, I'm marking a 1 inch. You can see 1 inch from that line. You come inward by 1 inch. It's just a guard. Just a line to guide us not anything serious. As you can see, it's just like a guideline. So I'm going to go up by 2.5 inches. Now then I'll connect the line just like that. Connect the line just like that. Then yes. So this next thing to do now is to come outside by 1 inch. From that line, you come outside by 1 inch, then you mark it. You mark it and connect it and make it a straight line. Then you connect that line to where that place that there is curve. Please do not make a mistake. That place that there is curve, you can see that place, that point. You're going to connect that point upward to the 1 inch you have marked outside. Just like that. So at the midpoint there, that's the midpoint, you're going to curve. You can see that that's the second half inch that we marked. We are going to curve it to the first half inch that we have marked, which is just right on that curve area where you curve your button or whatever allowance right there. Just that curve. You can see the way it's just curve like that. Then it's going to be resting at that point. That line you are marked, that curve you mark now will rest on that point, and the one up there too will rest on it, just like that. So I like to have a little curve, just a little curve at the top, like so. So I'm going to be marking it, you understand, just to have a little curve. So I noticed that I didn't mark it up to the edge right there. So I'm trying to correct my mistake now. And I'm going to mark it just like that. Please, I hope you understand up to this point. If you don't understand, please let me know, please. If there's anything that is confusing to you, just let me know. I'll be glad to explain. So we are done with cutting our collar, then we are going to cut it. Please watch the way I'm cutting it. That's why I said that you cancel that line so that you will not cut where you're not supposed to cut. Please watch the way I'm cutting it. I'm cutting through the curved line that we drew. The second line, the curved line, that is where I'm cutting from. So I'm going to be cutting this middle, the 1 inch in the middle. I'm going to be cutting it out. Just like that. I'm going to be cutting it out. Then we cut our second collar. Just like that. We're going to curve it just like that. Please kindly subscribe, like and share my videos, comment please. If there's anything you don't understand, you can let me know. And we are done with cutting our collar. Please just let the line match on each other like so. So I've cut it on the clothes. As you can see, the sharp edge, the line, the part that is straight is on fold. Please do not forget to cut it on fold. That straight part, you cut it on fold on the both collar. You're going to cut it on fold and add half inch round. The only place you're not going to be adding any allowance is the place that is on fold. And you can see that line that I'm pointing. Please mark a little notch on that line. That is where your curve is going to start from. Just mark a little notch on that side, and I'm done. I've cut it. I'm done cutting now. You can see. So I used my paper to cut that stay. You can see I used my paper to cut the stay. So I've cut 2 sides, and I'm putting the stay on 1 side each. Just the same way you can see on 1 side each. So now I'm going to be stitching all the way to up with the half inch. You can see our stay is just like a guard. Whatever it says that we have there, we are not going to join this down part too. Please don't join this down part. You're just going to join the upper part and the sides. So I'm done joining it now, and there's opening at the down part there. So we're going to notch the middle of that collar now. As you can see, we are notching the middle, then we place this one on it. The collar, the side where there is notch is the side you're going to be placing on it. As you can see, like that, just place it. By the time you're done placing it, you see that it's going to finish on the side that you have notch. Make sure you use that notch as a guide for you to know where you're going to stop stitching. So you're going to stitch it like that. So before stitching, you're going to use this stay as a guide to put in that ½ inch, your allowance, your sewing allowance. You're going to stitch it inside. You're going to iron it inside. If you want to stitch it, you can stitch it, just iron it inside. I'm done doing that now. I've ironed it and I have joined it to the first part of the collar to the other one. So I'm trying to join the second one now. I did not fold in the second one. I only fold in the first one, and the second one I'm going to just join it at the edge like that on the same line that I have joined the first one. So I'm done joining and I've turned it, and this is what we have. This is what you should have at this point. This is what you should have. You're just going to join it and turn it out. This is what you can see the place that we turned. You can see that place. I turned it and it's already inside like that. So the excess that you're having is going to be like a guard for you to just sew. That's your sewing allowance. So you're going to place it just like this. You're going to place it like this. You have to pin it down, and you see by the time you're done that there's going to be no excess at all. There won't be any excess or any shortage. We're going to have a perfect fit right there, as you can see. That's why I said you should measure it right from the beginning. That way I said you should measure. So if you measure it like that, there will be no excess at all. Please, you can see. So after I've turned it, now you see that place that we folded in. It is just there. We're just going to stitch on it now. Just stitch on it round. Just stitch on it straight to that side. By the time you're done, you're just going to put it in and stitch on it down to the second part there. And I'm just going to stitch on it straight, and we are done with our collar. So please kindly subscribe, share. I'll be uploading the sewing parts of the shirt tomorrow.